Hi, hello, welcome to today's video, which is going to be a 72-hour reading vlog. This one is being hosted by Covers with Cassidy, and she's hosting a readathon she's calling the Smut Den. So it's 72 hours of reading romance based off of these prompt wheels that she has. I'm going to be primarily focusing on fantasy romance, that's my favorite thing to read. It's what I definitely prefer. But yeah, over the next 3 days, I will just be reading as much as possible. So there are two different spinner wheels of prompts. One of them is like the light wheel, one of them the dark wheel, and I think it's just kind of, the type of book that you're getting into. But I decided to, at least today, start on the light wheel. And you're able to change it every day if you want to, but we'll see how today goes. But I'm gonna do the light wheel, and I did just spin it and came up with the prompt of cover with an animal on it. So I decided to go with what I'm currently reading just to finish off this prompt. It's not truly fantasy romance, but it is fantasy, and there's a bit of romance in it, so I'm gonna count it. But I'm currently reading Year One by Nora Roberts. So in this book, it is pretty intense. We're following the basically start of a pandemic that wipes out so far 2 billion people within the space of a month. And out of the people who are left behind, there's quite a few people who are starting to develop these magical abilities and realizing that a lot of the people who survived are like descendants of elves or fairies or witches. Like all of them are some type of magical creature. And it's pretty good so far. The pandemic type of books are always a little hard to read, I find. This one was very intense because like so many people died instantly, and that was definitely not so fun to read. But I'm enjoying it quite a bit now because we've passed over most of the death and we're just following the survivors, and like as they're on journeys basically to get out of cities and survive like these gangs of people who are just attacking anyone with magical abilities. And then again, it's pretty cool to see people like start to have these abilities and try and figure out what they're doing and all of that. So I am enjoying it. As you can see the cover, it has, I believe it's a raven on it, which kind of in the beginning, it's a hunter who kills a bird and it's attacked by a raven, and that's kind of what unleashes this plague and then magic upon the world. And yeah, enjoying it quite a bit. And I will check in with you guys probably when I'm done because I have just over 50% left of it, and I really don't anticipate it taking too long. Okay, so finished reading Year One by Nora Roberts. It wasn't spectacular, but I did definitely enjoy it. So basically the second half of the book is following a group of people who've all found their way to each other after this plague that wipes out most of the world's population, and they kind of come together to like form a community where there's regular people, but also a lot of magic users. And so a big part of the book is them trying to start this community, but also realizing that a lot of the humans who live with them are extremely prejudiced against the magic users and want to blame the plague on them and think that they all need to die. So there's a lot of like tension between magic users and regular humans, and there's like you get hints of all of these different groups who are traveling throughout the land. So there's like dark magic users who are taking over cities and doing things like human sacrifices and the dark arts. There's groups of raiders who are under a pastor and believes that all magic users need to be killed because they are the plague of the devil. Then there's the government who's also going through and trying to round up the magic users and perform experiments on them to see if they can figure out what caused this. So we're following like a small town, and as they're dealing with all of these groups and that kind of stuff, and it's really interesting. We only really started to get like hints of the magical abilities and the full array of what people can do, and I'm definitely excited to continue on in the series and like learn a bit more about it because definitely could see it being interesting. And it kind of left off on a place of like, in 13 years this prophesized thing will come into place. So I'm definitely really excited to see where that goes now. So yeah, book one is done. and let me roll and see what my next prompt is going to be. Okay, so the next prompt is a book with a yellow font on the title. So I'm going to take a quick look and see what I have that might work for this. Okay, and the first thing I see, and what I think I might as well just go with, is Death by Laura Thalassa. So this is book 4 in the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse series. I've enjoyed some of them not as much, but I'm very excited to finish the series and see how I feel about it, because I am hoping that this book might redeem it for me. So I'm going to get started on this and then I'll check back in. Hi, it's Friday. I have some reading updates, but first of all, let's just do like a little mail unboxing because I just got a crazy exciting PR package. I'm not sure what it is yet, but like I can already tell I'm excited. So I have no idea what it is, but it is a Little Mermaid collection. So this box is beautiful. I'm excited. I have no clue what this is. Oh, okay. So this is a skincare collection that Pacifica came out with in collaboration with The Little Mermaid. So we have some eye masks. Amazing. I love these. What else? Okay, a face wash. Perfect. I literally just used up the one I was using. So fabulous. I might start this tonight. Ooh, vitamin C serum. Cool. Setting mist. Awesome. Love having these. Oh, just all this artwork is so cute too. And then, okay, a brow mask. I have no idea what this is, but I'm excited to try it. All right, that is very fun. Okay, and now let's talk about some reading updates. So it is clearly the next day. It's Friday. It's around noon, and basically I just have not updated anything since yesterday because I was too tired. So I did in fact finish reading Death, which I don't think I even updated anything about the plot about this one. So this is book 4 in this Four Horsemen series. At this point, all of the other horsemen had come down to Earth and basically decided to give up their holy purpose for the women that they loved. And now we are following Death and a woman who seemingly cannot be killed. So anytime he uses his power on her, she comes back to life. Anytime she's mortally injured, she comes back to life. So he takes this as a sign that she is his fated lover, and he kind of takes her as captive, as they do in all of the other books. And he takes her as captive and they just journey through the land together while she is trying to turn him to good. I think I could say that this has definitely been my favorite installation of the series. It did get considerably better than the last few, and it was really nice. We got to see all of the characters from the other books. That was like a really nice throwback that I enjoyed quite a bit. But yeah, I think that this one was a lot better. I was definitely more engrossed. Again, not 100% convinced of the romance. You know, you just kind of have to believe blindly that they're actually good for each other. But yeah, I am not 100% convinced, but I did think the romance was fine, and yeah, I like this one considerably more. I'm only gonna give it like a 3-star. Definitely wasn't anything better than that, but it was entertaining at the very least. Okay, and I just spun the wheel to see what I'll be reading next. I'm sticking with the light wheel again today, so we'll see how that goes, but I'm sticking with the light wheel again today, and the prompt that I just got was 3 words or more in the title. So I decided I'm gonna go finally, after I don't know how long I've been saying I need to read this, I'm gonna finally read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. So this one is a sequel to The Serpents and the Wings of Night, which I read a few months ago, gave it a 5-star. It was one of my favorite fantasy romance reads that I've read in quite a while, to be honest, and I'm just incredibly excited to get back to this world. I've been mildly putting it off because I'm kind of scared that maybe this one won't be as good as the first book, but yeah, this is a good excuse to get to it. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. Hi, So I believe when we last checked in, I had just rolled the prompt for a book with 3 words or more in the title. And I did decide to end up going with The Ashes and Starker's King by Carissa Broadbent. And let's just say it's been a fantastic decision so far. I'm 20-ish% into it, and already I'm just like so immersed in this world again. I'm enjoying this story so much. And yeah, I'm just so glad I'm finally getting around to reading this. I had kind of been putting it off in that like I kind of waited a few months after it came out to read because I don't know, I just like loved the initial first book so much that I was really getting scared that like the sequel might be a bit worse. And especially like the first book was very contained in this like trial-based setting, and we didn't necessarily learn much more of the world outside of it, in the sense that like, yeah, most of the story took place within these trials. So I was kind of scared to see like once we are out of this like very structured type of story thing, where is the world going to go? Where is the story going to go? Is this one going to stay as interesting? And so far, absolutely yes. It's definitely going in a different direction than I thought, but that's probably a really good thing. So just like a tiny bit of a breakdown of what's happened so far. We're following Araya and Rain, who basically have survived the trials and are now living as, or trying to find their footing in the court and trying to figure, like basically maneuver their relationship with each other and all of these other political happenstances. And it's really interesting to see. There's like so much like backstory and relationships between all of these other characters we're meeting, and there's just like a very intense political world and stuff, and like that's very, very cool to see. I'm definitely deeply enjoying that. And yeah, I'm having a very good feeling that this is going to be a fantastic read for me. I'm definitely taking it a lot slower than anticipated though, which is kind of making me feel like I'm not even gonna get it finished today. I just have like a lot going on this weekend as well, so it's really hard to like actually sit down and find time to read because like there's so much happening. I'm not really anticipating that I actually will be able to finish tonight, but I am hoping that I can get a significant chunk in, and then maybe tomorrow I'll finish it, maybe have time to do another one afterwards. Hopefully, we'll see. I still have a few more hours where I'm able to read tonight, so I will be able to check in again and hopefully tell you guys where I'm at. But let's hope that I can make like another big chunk into this book, I guess. Okay, so I'm coming in again later on in the evening. I feel like I'm kind of hitting the peak of reading that I'll be able to do today, unfortunately. Really wanted to be able to do a lot more, but I'm just a little bit too busy and don't really have the brain capacity to keep reading at the moment. So I did get about 65% into The Ashes and Starker's King. I'm loving it, really loving it. The progression of Araya and Rain's relationship has been fantastic to see. There's so much like political maneuvering and so much is happening in this world. That's fantastic. We've been introduced to so many new characters. There's also Vale and Lilith, who were in her Chris's short story, 6 Scorched Roses, who come into play in this one, and really fun to see them in like a different context and actually understand why that novella was important to the story. And then we're actually getting to see like a lot more parts of the world in this one, which is really cool. Like there's been a lot of traveling to different like courts, different like I guess countries, different lands, and that's really cool to see. There's been so many new characters, so much going on, and it's very fast-paced, very interesting, and I'm deeply enjoying it. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'll be able to get much more reading in tonight, but I am very much hoping that I'll be able to get this finished tomorrow, and let's hope that I can do at least one more read after that as well, because I want to maybe finish at least 4 books this weekend. That would feel great. But yeah, I'll probably just check in with you guys tomorrow. So good night for now.
Staring out the window, reaching for a North Star, waiting just to wake up from this nightmare where you could be right back in my arms, dancing to the limbo, stuck here in the middle.
Well, I ended up lying and staying up last night to finish reading The Ashes and Starkers King, and it was fantastic. Definitely went in like a direction that I really wasn't expecting, and like that's really the best case scenario because it really like surprised me and I loved it so much. It is another 5-star read for me. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as The Serpent and the Wings of Night, but it was still very fantastic, and I'm so happy I finally got around to reading it because fantastic. Just seeing like the progression of Araya and Rain's relationship, just learning more about this world, seeing all of this like political maneuvering in this world, all these conspiracies and stuff. It was fantastic. I loved it. It was so good. So I feel incredibly happy that I managed to get that one finished, and yeah, I feel great and very ready today to start diving into a lot more reads, and now I'm feeling very motivated that maybe I can get a few more done than I previously had anticipated, which again is fantastic. So let me roll and decide what I'm going to read next. Okay, so the next prompt that I got on the spinner wheel was to read a book with an illustrated cover or animated cover. And you know what? I immediately found something that works. So I'm actually going to continue on in Carissa Broadbent's books and in this Neaxio world of vampires. And next I'm going to read Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which is a standalone book in this world, and yeah, I'm really excited to get to it. Hi, so I've started reading Conquering the Vampire Slayer by Carissa Broadbent and definitely enjoying it. So it's taking place in the same world as the Serpent and Wings of Night, but we're following a different type of vampires than we've really followed in the previous installments. And so these are bloodborne vampires who have some type of curse on them. And we're following the main character who is an assassin for this like cult-like group. They're all assassins who are taken in as children, as orphans, and blinded through this like really terrible procedure, it sounds like, and trained to see with their other senses, and become like very powerful in all of the ways of killing. So it sounds like they're very much like raised in a cult-like type of status. They're devoted to their goddess. They are raised to not question anything that's happening. But we are in this world where the vampires have just landed on the continent, what was previously only a human world, and they are sweeping through the cities, conquering and trying to take over the land. So one of the assassins was sent to deal with them, and we're following her right now as she's trying to infiltrate this vampire lord and like gain his trust and become part of his like trusted court, I guess. So I'm really liking it. I'm glad to be back in this world. I find it very interesting to see like more of this world and the different types of vampires again. Seeing these like blind assassins, very cool, very cool. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I think I'm 30-ish% in, so not a lot of the action has really started. It's mostly just like setting the plot and setting the scene for what's to come, but I'm really excited. So I'm just popping in the next day to finish off this vlog. I didn't really update it all again last night, but I did get to about 85% into Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. I was so confident that I'd be able to finish it yesterday, but sadly that was not the case. Still really, really enjoying it. This book is fantastic. I'm loving it so much. I'm really loving the relationship, the characters, like the world, everything. It's fantastic, and I'm definitely gonna finish it off today, but we are out of these 72 hours, so unfortunately I'm gonna be having to close off the vlog here. But overall, I think this was a pretty successful few days. Got like 3.5 book, well, we can say like 3/4 of a book done, and really enjoyed most of them, so I feel very good about that. If you haven't already, please subscribe. There'll be a lot more fun videos coming soon, and hopefully I will see you guys again.